Warning! Ollie thinks the show's ending.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Arrow. I was about to say The Flash. Arrow, season 5, episode 17. Whatever
I was going to say, if this is The Flash, I'm on the wrong show.
Huh?
I was going to say, if this is The Flash, I'm on the wrong show.
Yeah.
Capuchin. I'm gonna butcher that. Capuchin.
That one.
Capuchin.
That one. I'm your host, Clio, and with me I have Dom and Rachel.
How's it going?
Good. This was an
Confusing.
interesting episode.
It confused me. Like, what? Why? I don't understand. I kind of understand, but then I don't understand at the same time. You're like, this.
We're doing
Where's this leading?
Let's break it down.
Why did he want him to admit? It's like, and then he just left. It's like, you're a psychopath.
Because he's crazy. A, he's crazy. B, he killed his father. He wants Ollie to suffer. He sees that he's a hypocrite. He wants to point out that he's a hypocrite.
But he already knows he's a hypocrite. That's what's funny. Ollie already knows he is.
You know what? I'm not entirely convinced Ollie is that self-aware.
I think he is. He just doesn't want to admit it. I think that was the point.
I guess you're right. And it did take a lot for him to admit it.
But at the same time, he didn't know what he was supposed to admit.
Not until the end.
Right. So, yes, it may have
Not
taken him a
until he
long
thought
time.
someone
But
else died.
If I just came up to you right now, I was like, Cleo, admit it. And I know what I want you to admit, but you don't know what I want you to admit. It's going to take you a long time to figure that out. That's
I tell
a
you to
stupid
fuck
game.
I'd go about my day, I'd go to sleep, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like, that's what he meant.
So that I don't really like this quote unquote game that quote unquote Adrian Chase is playing.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to do a Saw and really failed.
Yeah, it felt like some kind of weird
Yeah, I could see that.
horror movie, and it just wasn't panning out.
When
It's like, what is his end game? I mean, I think that's what we're kind of trying to look for. What is his end game? What is his motivation to do this?
Yeah.
And we know what his motivation is.
Well,
You're right, we don't know what his end game is.
We don't know. That's what we keep pointing, especially with the whole Evelyn thing.
Yeah. When he grabbed Evelyn and quote unquote snapped her neck, I was like, that was not a neck snap.
No.
Like, you're gonna try to pass that off. Like I thought they were really trying to pass that off as an actual neck snap. And I was like, okay, when they revealed it wasn't, I was like, I feel much better about this now.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And this is the problem I had with the first Wolverine movie.
Mm-hmm.
Was there's no way Ollie, someone who snapped people's necks before, would have been fooled by that.
Mm.
Well, he's been how many times? I mean, we don't even know how. I mean, we know that he's been there for 6 days. So how many days has it been?
Yeah.
How many days was it?
How far gone is he?
Yeah.
How far? Yeah, it's like how many days was it?
He's
Before he
worn out,
brought
worn down.
Doesn't really. It's just like can't believe. He's trying to figure out what Simon or whatever the fuck his name is. Adrian
Garfunkel.
Prometheus, whatever.
Which I have a big problem with the reason he picked Prometheus as a name. Because he got the myth completely wrong.
I knew you would pick up on that.
Yeah, yes, because Prometheus doesn't actually take any power away from the gods. He just takes fire, which the gods didn't really need.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't render the gods... Also, is a god. Prometheus is a god. He's a titan, which is a kind of god. I was like, really, Adrian? That's fucking stupid. Go read a myth.
The gods
Get
must
out
be
of here.
crazy.
Well, he's crazy.
That's true. I was like, really? You get that wrong.
All I know is he did a number on Evelyn because she's a little psycho too.
I don't think she was psycho before she met him.
Well, she was the biggest propagator behind Ollie's killed people. Like, looking back at that now, like her whole campaign of, He's killed people. He's lied to us. Like she was brainwashed all the way back then. She was on Prometheus's game way back then.
Mm-hmm.
Was she?
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
She might have been, but here's
I
the
want to know
thing.
what their
I think
connections is. Why he chose her. I want to
I'm
know these
almost
questions.
positive that he specifically
answers?
planted her
Oh, maybe.
the whole
There's
time.
a reason why he. I think he found, seeked her out because of her parents.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to them, and he promised her or did something because she's very young and impressionable, and he probably got to her right where she was very vulnerable. But
Yeah.
I want to know. I mean, sooner or later we're going to have to see like some kind of backstory on how this came about.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're not done with that, obviously, because she's still around and working with him. So we're coming back to her.
We're gonna. I want to do a backstory of how Prometheus came about, how he decided and found out and became a woohoo.
Oh, wait a second. Her code name was Artemis, which is another Greek god.
Mm.
That's funny. It's funny. I just made that. Artemis, my favorite goddess, by the way. She's
But,
badass.
Oh my god! Yeah. So there's a lot. It didn't really answer anything. It gave us more questions. At least not to me to answer anything. That's I didn't already know.
Yeah. This was a very flashback heavy.
Yeah.
Yes. But they ran side by side though.
And every time the flashbacks come on, because they were like Rachel said, they were intertwined. But every time the flashbacks come on, I go, I really want to just take all of them and splice them together and watch it as a whole thing. Like we've said this the last like 2 or 3 episodes now, and it's becoming like a stronger and stronger feeling for me. Like I need to see this. Somebody has had to do it for previous seasons. Somebody had to have. Like last season when it was an actual full arcing story. Like we've had flashbacks through the whole show, but they've never been as arcing of a story as this. They've been like fragments of a story,
Yeah. And I mean, this episode sort of highlighted why I have a problem with the flashbacks sometimes, is like this felt like an actual story. I'm like, oh wow, we're getting an actual story with actual plot. Where like, other episodes it's like, wait, how did the flashbacks end? What the fuck happened? There were like 2 minutes of them.
It's not that you have a problem that they have story. It's the problem is
it
they're
takes so long.
Inconsistent.
Yeah, because they're
some
caught
have
up.
story, some don't. Like if they were consistent where they all had story, you'd probably be better off with it,
I don't know. I think they do kind of all have story, but the problem I have with it is they don't always end in a place that my brain can remember where it ended.
Yeah.
Not a natural plot point that it can stop on.
Yeah.
Because of time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh wow.
I have to admit, I'm in this episode and all the flashbacks. Dolph Lundgren was growing on me. I'm like, I've always really liked him, and he played a really great bad guy.
Oh yeah. he in this episode, I didn't pick up on it in other episodes. In this episode, for some reason, it just stuck out so much that he's like the Russian Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way he talks, his inflection. I'm like, you're talking like freaking what's his name? Marlon Brando from The Godfather. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then we find out that he had business dealings with Malcolm Merlin before he went woo too.
Malcolm was on every show last week except for Supergirl.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, because The Flash and Supergirl crossed over, I'm actually willing to count it.
He was on every show last week.
On every show. But yeah, no, it's almost like a different side of Malcolm because you're expecting him to be this, like, angry. But this is before.
Yeah. The Undertaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is. I mean, he still did all that training with the League of Assassins, but.
I would hate. Like, just this moment of realization here, talking about Malcolm. I would hate to be in charge of continuity for the CW's superhero shows.
Right. I wonder if they I was gonna say, I wonder if they have this big list. They have this.
But it's like
diagram.
where, like you're like, where does Malcolm in this timeline? And then you gotta figure out what his emotions, what his actions, what his like all this stuff. It's more than just what they did. You have to know what they're feeling, what their motives are, like all this stuff, and keep that all like in check to make sure it all works. And
well, good thing.
Well, every show has a Bible.
Is an awesome
Well,
actor,
yeah.
so.
Every show has a Bible. I like to imagine that these 4 shows just have one giant one.
yeah, I feel like they have their own individual ones, but then they have.
But then they all put
the bleed
in one
over,
big-
like just
Then
the
they have a
crossover events. I
combined
think,
Bible.
and they would like if they're gonna do a crossover with say the Flash, then they would look at both of them and go to.
Oh, I see.
I just feel like it wouldn't be one solid book.
No, of course not. But I would assume that in the crossover collection, like I don't even know if it's a book, in like the crossover collection, you would have to have everything relevant. Like last week with the crossover on Flash, they didn't yet know that Hank Henshaw was John Jones, and then that was revealed.
Yeah,
She
and I
was
feel like
hilarious.
this is something recent that shows started doing. Like this is not something that's always existed with shows having, a continuity person.
Mm.
But because I think
It's
for
kind
the
of have to with this.
I almost remember I almost remember I don't know the show, but I remember them getting something wrong on their own show because the fan wiki was wrong. And they were using the fan wiki for their continuity.
What show?
I don't remember. None
That's
of the
horrible.
ones that we cover. It was before our time with
Yeah, no, of course.
podcasting. But I specifically remember reading something about that.
I think it became more and more a thing when fans started pointing out the inconsistencies, and they're like, "Okay, we need someone to come in and be like, you can't do that because of this and this."
Yeah,
You
so
know.
I'm just saying being in charge of continuity on the show has got to be a nightmare.
Well,
This franchise, I should even say.
it'd be like it's kind of like soap operas.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
The continuity on those things.
Especially Arrow, if we're talking about,
Soap operas.
the dramatic soap operas. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, Arrow is a soap opera.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well.
So it's
But
supernatural.
I actually really liked this episode, though.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
I loved the flashbacks. I loved finding out. We found out a lot. A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Anatoly, always the best.
I love Anatoly.
He cut like straight through all these bullshit. All he didn't want to listen, but he's like, no, you can't split yourself in two. That's fucking stupid. Like he laid it out for all.
Another show we said that about too. You can't
What?
split yourself in two. It's stupid. Don't know what I'm talking about. At least I hope he does.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Sorry, took me out. I haven't watched a single episode of that show
Mm-hmm.
all season. Well, that's not true. Anyway,
Liar.
but I am a liar. Yeah, no, Anatoly is just hilarious.
I love him.
See how easy it is to think first and kill people later?
Anatoly's my favorite Russian, by the way.
You're my favorite American. How many Americans do you know?
It's not the point.
Yeah.
I do love it when Malcolm introduces himself. Hi, I'm Malcolm Merlin of Dota Industries, and he goes, "I'm a gangster."
Anatoly, gangster.
He's like, you could, and he's just like, "Oh, you're more than that." He's
Yeah.
just like, "Oh,
Yeah, I thought he was gonna say like, Prov whatever of the Bravda.
yeah, I'm a gangster."
Third rock from the sun.
No, he's amazing. I love him. I want more, but I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to get more.
Introduced
think we are
himself
gonna
from
get more.
Earth 1.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite thing was that Kovar had this big, like, melodramatic villain, I'm gonna take over the government plan. Like, that was just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And he was monologuing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was so monologuing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not Dr. Evil, I don't want to hear you monologue. That's just how that goes.
I don't know.
Monologue.
He's a close second.
Dr. Evil, best villain monologuer of all time.
I just think it was funny that he thought that he was just that Ollie would just be a pushover.
Yeah.
He underestimated him so much.
Yeah.
And I think at the end, he finally realized, crap, yeah.
Well, he freaking didn't die. As much as Ollie tried to kill him.
Malcolm needs to get his freaking little paws out of things.
No.
So where is he now? That's the question. Is he behind Prometheus?
Kovar?
Yeah. Is he behind Prometheus getting all the information?
Have we even established who Chase really is? Like, because we assume that guy in the flashback from a couple episodes ago, 6 or 7 episodes ago, was his father. But I'm still believing that's not the case. I think it might be the Russian guy.
He killed my father.
Right, but Ollie killed a lot of people. It could be the Russian guy was his father.
Yeah. He's right. Mm-hmm. He's killed a lot. Ollie's killed a lot of people's fathers.
But then, his mom looked out of that house like no one's business. The house was completely empty.
Yeah.
Unless she was having international affairs.
Or unless she came to the U.S. for...
No, because he's like, my dad was underwater for 45 seconds still alive. Feeling his, so he was like, that was his father.
No, because Ollie, the reason he was drowning was because Ollie shot him and he didn't die, so he was drowning in his own blood. Ollie shot a lot of people in the chest.
Water. He said he's filling up with water. He said that's how long he was underneath the water.
No, that's not what he said. He said the shot didn't kill him and his lungs filled up with water. He drowned from blood in his lungs.
So that was his father, because when Ollie shot that guy that we think is Prometheus' father, he fell back into a pool.
Yeah, I get what Rachel's saying on that. But that's not necessarily the only guy that drowned.
Well, it's the only one we know of.
Right. I feel like they're going to do a bait and switch.
His father's not the Russian.
I feel like we're going to do a bait and switch.
We'll just call him the Russian.
The Russian.
But, I don't know.
Mm.
And maybe he got in contact with him and gave him all the way. I mean, we know. I guess Talia gave him a lot of crap too, but it just makes it's like, hey, didn't like her father. She was estranged from her father, and then she got mad when he died in an actual like. It wasn't like he just straight up killed him. It was an actual honor thing. It was
Yeah, but we know that she doesn't play by the league's rules, so she doesn't really care.
She doesn't care about the league's honor.
It happened, yeah. The reason she left was because she didn't give a shit about the league.
I wonder if she knows she has a sister.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
If she's estranged, I don't know if she knows she has a sister.
Maybe not.
No.
I don't know. I do like the fact that like they showed her in present day, so we know she's still alive. Kind of, like I absolutely love. Like we've known for a couple episodes now, but it's just having her solely in the past just left so many questions of where she is now and all this, and they answered those pretty quickly. So I'm happy with that, but I want to see more of it, and that's what keeping her alive leads to, and I hope it bleeds over for next season too. I hope she doesn't just go away.
Well, we also know that she has her own League of Assassins.
She has her own apprentices.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wonder if
it's fucking Talia. Talia ain't going anywhere.
I wonder if Ollie will introduce the two of them together.
I wonder if she has her own Lazarus pit.
She might. Well, we know she's.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that because.
Yeah.
We've always said another one out there's got to exist, but I wonder if she's the one that owns it.
She trained Shadow's dad.
She's too young.
Yeah, she trained.
She trained Shadow's dad. Yes, that's right.
And he was
at
old.
that point, we don't know because it seemed like she was still like in with the league at some point for her to not take their beliefs and stuff like that. So I'm sure that she's used their pit for a period of time. It's does she have her own? That's the question.
But the laws were only Ra's al Ghul could use the pit.
Yeah, but if Ra's al Ghul takes the water and tells her to use it, that's Ra's al Ghul using it.
No, because Nissa wasn't allowed to use it.
Mm.
To be fair,
Well,
we can deduce he loved Talia more than he loved Nissa.
Well, maybe he saw what it did to Talia. Maybe Talia died and he brought her back in the Lazarus pit.
Oh, maybe.
And he saw what it did to her and was
That's a
like,
good theory.
"No, you're not touching it. You're not no.
That's actually
no,
a really good theory. I like that.
It is.
That explains how she's a little bit on the angry side.
It's a bloodlust.
Mm-hmm.
She's Thea 1.0.
Or maybe she has some of the last, so she constantly in it to, subdue the lust.
I want to see
But-
Thea and Talia duke it out.
That'd be fantastic.
It would.
Thea might get her ass handed to her.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's why I said might.
Mm-hmm.
Never know. But, I mean, I only say that because Talia is so much older than her.
Right.
And has been
I like
at it since she was a wee
I
bat.
like the fact that she was like, "Oh, I never taught you how to get out of those shackles." Well, how do you know your dad didn't teach him? Because he trained with your dad.
For like a week.
That was longer
She doesn't
than
know
that.
that. She doesn't know
Yeah,
any,
she doesn't
you know.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't know.
There's something. Oh, so Ollie comes to, Adrian lets him go. Ollie comes back to the cave. They've been looking for him for 6 days. They're going crazy. He just walks in. They're like, what?
Bloody, burned chest.
And I
tattoo
expect-
burned off.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
he burned off the
tattoo.
tattoo.
Oh,
I expected Ollie to just be like, I'm done. I'm hanging up the hood and walk out. But he's like, no, I'm shutting down the whole thing. I'm like, of course, Ollie. You have to make this all about fucking you. Jesus Christ.
well, Adrian really got in his head, and he's like, "Do you think Felicity and Diggle are better off with you?" So he's making it seem like Ollie chose this direction for them because he did. He was selfish and dragged them into it. So now he assumes that he could just shut it down and control that.
Because it's all
And-
about Ollie.
Well,
and,
it started with Ollie, so it ends with Ollie.
he's
I get that
kinda-
reasoning. I get the reasoning
such-
behind it.
He's such a fucking prick.
He is. I'm not
Well,
saying
he's
he's not.
thinking that by shutting it down, he's saving them.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, yes, he's being selfish about it by deciding what they want for them because he thinks it's better for them. So
Of course.
yes, it's a
Like
selfish.
Ollie always does.
Yeah, it's a selfish,
Wow.
selfish thing. But that's not gonna fly. He may quote unquote shut down the lab, but then Felicity's gonna continue to run Helix and have them work. She'll be Overwatch
Felicity
from Helix.
She's getting up to her neck or her eyeballs by now, and she doesn't even know it.
Yeah,
Mhm. Well, okay.
she's gonna
Here's
be the
the
one
thing.
to have to shut Helix down.
Something's
Here's the
going
thing.
on. That girl is a little too sweet in the way she's a little Canadian little bitch.
Oh, I want
I
to
can
just
tell you that right now.
Just grab her, smash her face into a brick wall.
I had this thought. I might shock people. There's one scenario that I will accept Ollie and Felicity back together.
Oh,
That's if Ollie embraces his murder fantasies and Felicity becomes like a destroyer of lives. If they're just like chaotic evil together, I'll accept that. It's the only way I'll accept them back together.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I know. I thought of that today and I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
Kind of like that. Because Felicity's going down a pretty dark path right now.
Yeah.
I don't think she's realizing it though. She's so focused on finding out this information for everything. She's not thinking about anything else, which is really
And she
stupid.
keeps saying, "I'll do whatever you need." So it's like whatever. So that means there's no limit. She's willing to do whatever without even realizing what she's saying.
And the brown-haired girl, I just want to smack.
So I said I want to just grab her by the back of the head and smash her face into a brick wall.
I don't like her. She's a sneaky, conniving little witch.
And all this time, Felicity's been convincing herself she's doing this for the good. Meanwhile, Ollie was doing the same thing with the murder. He's like, oh, I'm murdering for good. But it was a lie. He just liked to murder. And I think she's going to realize the same thing where, oh, I haven't been really doing this for good. I've been doing this because it feels great to ruin people's lives.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm totally in for chaotic evil.
Next season is the team trying to stop Ollie.
Yes! Oh my god! I cannot think of a better, sixth
Well,
season. I don't know.
We do know, by from the Legends episode when it's the future, Ollie does hang up his gear. He actually did in the supposed future. He does hang up his gear. He did lose an arm.
Yes. One-armed Ollie.
So we know he's still alive, at least in that, and that if that timeline still goes. And we also know that Diggle's son becomes the Arrow and stuff like that.
Which, actually, now that I think about it, the whole baby Sarah turning to baby John explains why that timeline... So Flashpoint was always meant to happen.
That wasn't Flashpoint, though.
No, I know. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Since the Legends went to 20 whatever. Yeah. Since the Legends went 30 years in the future, they saw a male heir for Diggle. Which meant Flashpoint was always meant to happen for there to be a John Jr.
I don't think it was 30 years. 30 years. I think it was
but John Jr.'s always existed, even with the other kid.
Oh, you think they were... But the reason I say it is because we never saw Sarah in that timeline.
Yeah.
Right, we never saw her, but that doesn't mean that she succumbed to the same path that Diggle did.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not saying that she didn't exist, it's just saying she wasn't there, which, is true. It's true for both timelines.
That Flashpoint was always meant to happen.
It's true for both timelines, but but we also have to remember the newspaper article from the Flash that says Queen Consolidated or Queen Industries, I think it was, merger with Wayne Tech, right? So we know that Palmer Tech or Smoke Industry, whatever it is, I can't keep track of it, whatever it is now, has to turn to Queen Consolidated or Queen Industries or whatever.
Not if the company splits. If the company splits and it's Smoke Industries and Queen at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Queen. Oliver has nothing to do with the company right now. His name isn't tied to it at all.
But that doesn't mean Thea won't be.
Right. My
Which
point
I think
is,
that would be a perfect
my point
path
is,
for Thea.
we still have to get to that point where that building does that, so we can get that history that's still in the Flash newspaper. So the course is still set in that direction. We still have to get that to show up on Arrow.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe this
8 years away, 7 years away,
something like that. But I'm like, what I was saying was that maybe this is the catalyst for Ollie to completely and utterly stop it. He may wean himself, but then at a certain point, he just was just like, no, can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this whole season has been throwing things at the Green Arrow to kind of say, stop, Ollie, never be the Green Arrow again.
Well, it's doing that. Ollie's painted the Green Arrow as public enemy number 1. Like, everything is pointing to, and Cleo's theory right here has just got me way too excited, and I know it's gonna fall short because they're not gonna appease us in this way. But
it's gonna be like the Deanman.
But to see all this go through would be amazing. I would absolutely love it, and I know it's not gonna happen, so I don't want to get my hopes up too big.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I just feel bad for Felicity right now because she's not telling anyone, and she's gonna drown.
No, I don't feel bad. She's making her own bed.
Yeah,
she is.
At this point, they've thrown her so many lifelines that at this point, you're digging your own grave.
Yeah. Rachel also just posted before the podcast an article about Katie Cassidy, who plays Laurel, returning
as not Laurel,
as not Laurel,
the Black Siren from Earth 2, for the final 2 episodes of this season, and then sticking around for the quote unquote foreseeable future, which doesn't necessarily mean season 6 of Arrow, because we don't know for sure if the show's getting renewed yet. At least to my knowledge, I haven't heard about a renewal yet. I know the other shows have, so I don't know. I gotta look at that.
It says, I was just gonna say it says in pretty plainly season 6 regular, which would be Arrow.
Does it say season 6? Oh, okay.
Season 6 regular.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember Arrow specifically getting
unless
renewed.
they're just talking out of their ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nick.
So it'd be cool to get her. I was just gonna say it'd be cool to get her to come around. For some more. And Brian had also mentioned that in chat. Did you guys hear about that? So yeah, we did. And then Brian also is how would you guys feel about Felicity becoming a superhero?
She's not.
No.
Not yet, but what if she did?
She doesn't have an in her too.
I don't think she has an in her too. I think her, like Curtis, are better served doing what they do, you know?
Yeah, January 8th, the CW renewed the show for a 6th season. So, cool. Yeah, but doesn't she still have that microchip in her spine?
Yeah.
She can't be a superhero.
Which I think was a stupid way to get around having to put her in a wheelchair.
What if villain EMPs her?
You're right.
She can't be a superhero.
Well, we don't know exactly what it really runs on. Would it survive an EMP? Would it survive someone hacking it? We don't really know.
Ooh, somebody could hack her legs. I like the sound of that.
It sounds terrible.
But I don't think she wouldn't be.
All of a sudden, she's just walking around kicking Ollie in the balls.
Jesus Christ!
She wouldn't be a very good superhero. She's still too scared. And she likes her heels too much. You can't run in heels.
She's just as big as a team member at the computer than Ollie is in the suit running around. So
yeah,
we did see Curtis and more of his toys this episode. So
yes,
that sounds really dirty.
Yes, it does. But we all know what we're talking about. So it's just kind of cool. He's starting to find his stride.
I still want Ragman back.
I know, what the fuck?
They better tell us. I want a whole, I don't care.
Entire episode devoted to Rory.
Mm-hmm.
That goes for both Rorys, by the way. Entire episodes.
We just want Rory. All the Rorys.
All the Rorys.
A Rory-centric episode, just all the Rorys.
Yes.
I still think that those two as like a buddy cop would be fucking hilarious. A buddy cop episode.
Right.
Rory squared.
Ooh, the title of next week's episode is interesting.
Disbanded. Oliver calls on the Bratva for help. Diggle and Felicity are shocked by Ollie's decision to call on the Bratva to take down Prometheus. Concerned the Bratva may overstep, Diggle has a hard conversation with Oliver about what happens if things go south. Meanwhile, Felicity learns something shocking at Helix.
Oh, that's a period there.
Shocking.
Shocking at Helix. Not shocking at Helix.
Okay. Yes.
I was waiting for more of the synopsis.
No, that's it.
Okay.
I always end the synopsis wrong.
Well, I'd also would like to know where Mr. The Russian is.
Mr. The Russian.
Mr. The Russian. Isn't the Russian from The Punisher?
Oh, I can't remember. There's been a lot of...
Kevin Nash played the Russian, I thought.
The Russian. I think there's a lot of movies that had, characters called the Russian because they didn't really want to give people names.
The guy in the striped shirt that was like Popeye the Sailor Man on crack that was beating the crap out of the Punisher in the first movie.
I don't remember.
It was Kevin Nash from WWF or WCW, whatever.
Those movies in my mind were so forgettable that I watched one of them. I think it was the second one.
The second one.
I watched it for the first time. Months pass. Dad's like, "Oh, I got the Punisher movie." I was like, "Oh, okay, I haven't seen it yet." I sat down halfway through the movie. I was like, "Wait, I think I've seen this." That's how forgettable that movie is.
Yeah. Really, they are. Oh well.
Anyway, Dom, where can people find you?
You can find me down below as Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon. Rachel, where can people find you?
They can find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 right here.
And you can find me at Clio Moto. You can find all of us at ASO TV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. I really want to sit down now.
Couldn't stand up that long.
Oh, chair, you're so comfy.